All right, folks, we're going to get started. So we're going to start off with Leslie Miller Veach. She's from Alcon. So today we're going to be focusing on they've got a Cdl driver that they're accepting applications for, but we're really focusing on their sterile fill technicians and their packaging technicians today. So I'll let Leslie tell you a little bit more about that. Leslie.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here and to meet with all of you. So I'm an HR business partner for our manufacturing teams here in Fort Worth. We actually have two manufacturing plants right here, like at our corporate headquarters. So Alcon makes over 100 different types of products, to support eye health, but we actually have two aseptic manufacturing plants here. So we focus on some consumer lens care products like sterile solution you clean your contacts with. And then we also make some products like either over-the-counter eye drops or surgical solutions that they use during various different eye surgeries. So we are always looking for great talent, and we have some really exciting opportunities right now. So Jason did mention the Cdl driver. We do have on campus at all times 6 Cdl drivers that do drive product and raw materials back and forth between our plants and our distribution centers. I'm always looking for top talent drivers. It's always hard for us to find, and it's a really great opportunity. So if you're interested in that role, please apply. I will go back and look at previous candidates even when we're looking to fill another role. So it's always great just to get your application out there. We also have a really exciting opportunity coming up. We don't do like in-person, just Alcon job fairs very often, but we actually need to hire quite a few people between both of our manufacturing sites. So we are having an in-person job fair, which is going to be right across the street at the Holiday Inn, right across from us here at Alcon. And I can get Jason to help me share the details in the chat here in a little bit so I can make sure that you guys have that. But we are going to be there doing same day interviews for our packaging technicians on second, third, and the weekend shift. And then also for our sterile fill technicians that work a 4-on, 4-off shift. So we would love to have y'all come out and sit down and meet our leaders and get an instant interview. Like I said, doesn't happen often, so I think you should definitely take advantage of that. A little bit more about packaging technicians and filling technicians. They're really on the front lines of our manufacturing process. So the pack techs, they are there, they're operating different equipment, different machines. They're monitoring the packaging throughout the entire process after it's sterile filled until it gets on a box and put on a pallet to go out the door. So we need people with quality mindsets. We need people that are excited to, work towards our vision of helping people see brilliantly. And it's just a really great opportunity at an entry-level role to get your foot into manufacturing. For our sterile fill technicians, that's actually a very exciting role because those are the operators that are actually in our sterile aseptic fill suites. They do like a full garb and they are in there monitoring the process to make sure that everything goes smoothly as we actually fill our bottles of sterile solution. So they go through a lot of training, they go through a lot of quality training, and we really rely on them to be quick thinkers and have some mechanical aptitude and troubleshooting. So if that's something that you think may sound interesting to you, sterile fill techs are a great also entry-level role to get started at Alcon. I think that's the highlights of just these particular roles. I am always looking for talent in many different areas. When it comes to manufacturing, we need lots of roles. So I'm always open to speaking to job seekers about different career paths that we have or different opportunities that we might have in different areas of the business too. So does anybody have any questions about the roles that I just spoke about or about Alcon in general?
Yes, I do. You had mentioned your hiring event
Yes.
and on at Holiday across the street from you, but
Yes.
I didn't catch the date and the time that you're having that event.
Yeah, sure. So it's going to be Thursday, July 28th. And we have two different time slots, one from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and one from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And that's at the Holiday Inn right across the street from our campus.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Leslie. Yeah, Alcon's a great company, and I know they like to promote from within. So if anybody's interested in the position she's talked about, please apply. I posted their website there in the panel. There's certainly plenty of other positions. She didn't have time to go over them all, so take a look and find a good fit for you. Perfect. Thank you so much, Leslie.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's we're gonna move over to Always There personnel. We've got Tandy Slater. They've been around for a long time, and they've got lots of different positions for different types of people. So Tandy, I'll let you take it away. I know we're going to talk about some general construction. I know you had some warehouse positions. We were doing some construction. They were going to be working actually in a warehouse, not under the sun. So maybe you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Absolutely, Jason. Thank you so much. First of all, this is a really unique client. They build pods for commercial applications. So what you do in the warehouse is you construct the entire pod at different stations throughout the warehouse. And when it's completed, it's been inspected, everything is good, then they wrap it in a special cover and it gets shipped to that construction site. So you never leave the warehouse. You're in there doing all the work. They train you. You do not have to have a plumber's license or an electrical license. They have all those in-house. So all you're doing is being trained and do the work. The beauty of them is they work 4 days a week. It's a 10-hour day, Monday through Thursday. So you get a 3-day weekend. And it's just a unique opportunity for someone to get a lot of experience. And they do start at a relatively good rate. If you are interested, you can either apply on our website, which is alwaystherepersonnel.net, like Texas Workforce is net. And we have where you can do your application online, or you can come into our location in Fort Worth at Sylvania and Airport Freeway. Our phone number is 817-624-1777. You can talk to any of our recruiters there. We have lots of positions for this company, but we also have one other I want to talk about. It is for a client that needs an HR assistant / bookkeeper that has at least 1 year experience in QuickBooks. This is a full-time position. You'll mainly do HR, and the HR director will train you, so you don't have to have a lot of experience, he said. But it's mainly he wants to make sure you know how to do payroll on QuickBooks. They do require an associate's degree. So if you have that, we'd love to talk to you. He's very anxious to get someone in. One of our other clients, probably the last one I'll mention, is we have a company that needs cashier / warehouse worker. They work Sunday through Saturday, 7 to 6. It's non-climate controlled, but you'll be brought up to the front to the register in case they need you, because it is a store, but you'll be working in the warehouse. They also need a driver Monday through Saturday. When not driving, you would also work in the warehouse. It's a pretty cool place. We've had a lot of people there. Spanish speaking is definitely a plus. So again, if you are interested in those, we'd love to talk to you. We have lots of other jobs, but those are the ones we wanted to talk about today. Any questions?
I was curious. I know you talked about the HR assistant. Did you mention the bookkeeping portion of that?
Yes.
Okay. I must have overlooked that. I apologize.
That's okay. It's
and I know
it's QuickBooks. They have to know. They have
Fair
about
enough.
150 employees, so it's not a huge payroll, but it is
Okay.
something that's weekly.
That's great. And what about for some of these positions that are more physical? Do you have any restrictions on folks that maybe have some criminal history that they might be concerned about?
Um, Most of our clients, if you haven't had anything in the last 7 years, they're open. It just depends on case by case. We always call our client if we think someone would be a good fit for them, but they do have some things on their background. We do talk to the client and see how they feel about it. It's not us. We hire everyone, but if your client dictates this, for example, we have one client that has federal contracts, so those people have to have clean backgrounds, and we adhere to what our clients want us to do.
Okay, well, that's great. I appreciate you, and I've posted a link to your website there in the chat.
Well, thank
So
you.
anybody who's interested in, giving Tandy a call, her phone number's there. Feel free to reach out, go apply online. They've got lots of different positions that you might be qualified for, and I know they get new stuff all the time. So what they don't have today, maybe they'll have tomorrow.
Right. Like I said yesterday, we got the one for the construction site. So, well, not site, warehouse. So we're really excited. We're going into some different directions. I may be looking for film people. I went to a job fair the day before yesterday that the law firms are now wanting filmographers to take the trials, and that's something brand new.
Okay, that's interesting. What kind of qualifications would they need for that position?
Well, they need to be able to be familiar with audio and video, absolutely, because
Sure.
they have to go in ahead of the trial and actually set everything up. So and the law firm pays if you have to travel out of state or whatever, they pay for all your expenses. So it is a good opportunity.
Sure, yeah. Anybody who's looking to get out of the heat for a little bit, that sounds like a great opportunity.
I like to refer people to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. That was televised, and it was an eye-opener for a lot of law firms to see how the attorneys interact with the judge, with the defense team, or vice versa. It was very interesting to see how that all took place. I know a lot of people think having to be on the jury is boring, but this was a real eye-opener.
Yeah, it absolutely was. They monopolized our screens for a few days, that's for sure. Well, thank you, Tandy. I appreciate you. We've got the information up there, so if you guys are interested, definitely reach out, go in there and apply. And if anybody misses that, we will repost that toward the end of this. But I'm going to turn it over to Andrea Carter. She's from Amazon, so they're going to talk to us a little bit. They've got a couple different positions that they're interested in filling. They've got seasonal air gateway team members, and then we've got some Amazon Fulfillment Center warehouse associates. And I know they've got a couple different locations. So Andrea, will you tell us a little bit more about some of those?
Okay, sorry. So we are looking for fulfillment associates in our different locations. We have quite a few. We have 3 in Hazlet, one in the middle of Fort Worth, so more like the Blue Mount area. Actually, there's 3 right there. Um, so our fulfillment associates, we work 4-day weeks, 10 hours a day. You get to choose your schedule. We also have flexible shifts. So if you have children or any other personal reasons that you can't make it have a set schedule, we also have shifts that allow you to make your own schedule. Um, let's see, the air gateway. So you will be working either inside the airport, inside the airport, loading the planes, or outside on the ramp where you load planes also. I don't really think I have anything else to say. Yeah, I think
So the air gateway, and Andrea, if you don't mind, would you mind scooting a little bit closer to your microphone? We're having a little tough time hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure we all got the same information, but the air gateway position, if I remember correctly, that's going to be in the North Fort Worth area.
Yes, I can have it. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Yeah, and then with the other positions, are you also filling for just the Alliance area, or what other locations are you guys looking to fill for the warehouse associates?
So we have the one off of 820 and 35. There is one in, I believe, White Settlement. There is one in Saginaw. Uh, there are two. There are 2 more in Hazlet. So any one of our Fort Worth locations, we are hiring for. We do a hiring event every day from about 8 to 4:30. So if you want to apply, you can always go to hiring.amazon.com or amazon.com/apply now.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We'll we'll get that here in the chat here in just a second. Does anybody have any questions for Andrea? We've got the chat open. You guys are being quiet today. Don't be scared. We can get some questions answered here for you. If you got some concerns, let's get them out. Okay, perfect. Well, Andrea, thank you. We'll monitor the chat in case anybody has any questions that they're not looking to ask right this second. But next up, we've got Martha Donley. She's from the IRS. So they've got an office right downtown. She's looking to hire the revenue officer. They've got tax examining technicians they're looking to get filled. They do have some temporary roles there that are a 6-month contract position, but they've got some IRS agent, tax specialist, and the revenue officer. But Andrea, excuse me, oops, almost clicked you away there. Okay, Martha, would you mind taking that away and telling us a little bit more about that?
Yes, as Jason stated, my name is Martha Donley. I'm a recruiter with the Internal Revenue Service as well as a human resource specialist. The positions that we currently have open is a internal revenue agent, and that position will close August 24th. So I suggest that you go ahead and apply, create a USA Job account, make your resume searchable, and also search for this position. The control number that you'll be looking for is going to be, for the internal revenue agent, will be control number 665-348-500. You can actually just search for the job using the series or the position title being internal revenue agent. Those positions, we have 400 positions to fill over all the states. So we do have several locations in Texas specifically, also in the Metroplex area. Again, there are 400 positions to be filled across the United States for the internal revenue agent. That position pays between $36,118 to $126,742. The next position that we have is an internal revenue agent, employment tax specialist. That position also will close on August 24th. You can search for that position using the title Internal Revenue Agent, Employment Tax Specialist, or the control number 665-357-700. That particular position pays between $44,740 to $126,742. The next position that we have, which is going to remain open until we receive all qualified candidates, that's going to be a revenue officer, and that is a 12-month register. And the 12-month register will allow the applicants to apply so that we will get the needed, required, or qualified candidates. That will stay open until April 17th, 2023. So all of these positions, I suggest that you create your USA Job profile, create your account, upload your resume, and all the necessary documents. On the entire job announcement, it does have the conditions of employment, the education required, the additional information, as well as the required documents. Again, you want to go ahead and make sure that you apply for all of these positions, And also, with that being said, that's not all that we have. We have plenty of opportunities and plenty of options. Don't get afraid of the fact that we are the Internal Revenue Service. These positions do in fact offer plenty of training, and the training is ongoing. As far as the revenue officer position, it requires that you have a bachelor's degree in any field of study. It does not matter. It could be farming, it could be agricultural, it could be politics, it can be anything. As long as you have a bachelor's degree, you can apply for a revenue officer. But for the Internal Revenue Agent, as well as the Internal Revenue Agent Employment Tax Specialist, it does require that you have a degree in accounting. There is also, there are other stipulations for the education. You can have the necessary degree in accounting, or you can have accounting hours, or the experience. But I suggest that you review the entire job announcement. It will specify all the requirements for the education. Again, these close pretty with the August 24th slowly approaching for the Internal Revenue Agent and the Employment Tax Specialist, closing on August 24th. And again, the revenue officer will remain open until we receive all the qualified candidates. It will remain open until April 17th of 2023. Again, we offer all the necessary training that you'll need. Again, don't be afraid. We won't just throw you out there. You will in fact get training, and training does come in stages. These are in fact field positions, which means that you will be going out into the field to perform this work. It is not remote. It is not telework at this time. At the onset of being hired, you will not be allowed to work at home. And again, this is a field position, which means that you are required to go into the field to meet taxpayers and or their representatives at their home or business. Now, what I will provide Mr. Scallon or Mr. Montez is a link to all of these positions, as well as flyers that you can peruse at your time, or you can post or share. And I will also provide you with invitations or links to join our virtual information sessions. At those sessions, you learn more about the position, what it entails. You'll be hearing from managers or employees that have done this job on a day-to-day basis. They can fill you in on the life of those positions, the life of a revenue officer, the life of an internal revenue agent, the life of an employment tax specialist. So that way you will get an insight of whether or not these positions are a great fit for you. Let me see if I've left anything off. Benefits. People love to hear about the benefits that we do have. We actually have competitive salary. From coming into a position, we grade those at a particular grade and a particular step. But when you look at the job announcement, you will see the progression. There is a link that will give you information about our pay scale. But we have competitive salaries, we have 11 paid holidays, 13 vacation days, we have sick leave, we have retirement, we have transportation subsidy, which means that if you live in a metropolitan area that has light rail, trains, buses, the IRS has transportation subsidy that will pay you to get to work. You get a subsidy so that you can actually come to work. You won't have to pay for any kind of parking, especially if it's that type of situation. We have also health and life insurance. We have flexible locations. Like I said, there are various locations in the state of Texas where these positions are in fact open. We have flexible schedule, which means that if you're not a morning person or you're an evening person, then we have those type of schedules. But these particular positions are in fact a Monday through Friday, daytime only. Let me see if I'm missing anything else. Like I said, don't be afraid because we are the Internal Revenue Service. I'm going to put that out there. We have opportunities and options for you. When you create your USA job account, you do have an opportunity to search our jobs based on keywords. If your field of background or your desire is to be in healthcare, you can plug in that word, that keyword, and search for jobs in that field. Any field that you think that you could possibly imagine. Most people think of the IRS as only hiring those with accounting or things of those taxes and things of those nature. But no, we have mathematics, economics, statistics. We have all of those things. It's a wide range of everything. But for my particular area, I'm in small business, self-employed individual. And that's what these positions are located. They deal basically with, or primarily with, self-employed individuals and supplemental income taxpayers. You're auditing and examining their returns. With revenue officer, you're visiting with individuals and or businesses to secure returns and delinquent payments.
Martha?
Yes.
There's a couple of questions on the chat. Somebody had asked, is there any testing and is there any age restriction?
There is only one job with the entire revenue service that has an age requirement. That's criminal investigation and criminal investigators. And their age is up to age 37. Outside of that, the world is open. We will hire if you have the skills and the knowledge and the requirement is met for education, you will be able to apply.
Okay. And there's also another question on chat is, are any of these jobs remote?
None of our jobs are remote. No position is remote.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
That may have also been a question for all of our panelists today.
Yes, yes, I can understand that. The only thing, there is no remote work. Now, telework, that's only, there's only an agreement reached if your work is satisfactory after a period of time. It could be after 1 year or it could be after several years, because some positions rank you that way for entering into a telework agreement. And telework basically means that some days you will in fact be required to come into the office, and the other days you will be in the field or you will be working from home. But that is nothing immediate. Your work has to prove that you are eligible for a telework agreement. Any other questions? That's all that I have. Like I said before, I will be sharing with Mr. Scallon and Mr. Montez links to all of these jobs, as well as flyers, and also the links to invite you to our virtual information sessions to learn more about these positions.
Thank you so much, Martha. Yeah, for
You're welcome.
anybody who's definitely looking for a career with lots of upward mobility, that's something to consider. Absolutely. It looks like they have a lot of qualifications they're looking for, but it sounds like they also pay well for what they're looking for. Martha, do you have anything that maybe somebody who didn't, and if I missed this, I apologize. I just wanted to get clarity that maybe somebody who didn't have a college education might be qualified for?
Yes, there are in fact positions with our call center, which for the Texas, I'm familiar with the Dallas area. There is a call center that's a contact service representative, and that call center is located downtown Dallas. That is a multiple shift location, and that position does not require a degree. You can search for that position. I cannot attest whether it is currently open, but you can search for contact service representative and the location. If the position is in fact open, then I suggest that you apply as well. Some of those positions fill quickly. Some of them are done on situations of a direct hire, which means that you need to have your resume prepared and any other applicable information. And some of these direct hires are located on our website under usajobs.gov. That will be www.usajobs.gov. And you can scroll to the very bottom and it will have events, and you're searching for any event for contact service representative as a direct hire. Now with the hiring process, do I have a little time to explain that, Mr. Scallon?
We've got until noon. I'm going to give the other panelists a minute to talk about. I make sure that everybody knows about all the virtual positions, but absolutely, if you want to clarify, now's a definite time.
Okay, great. The hiring process, we always encourage our applicants to be patient because the process can take, we're estimating between 3 to 5 months. It could be shortened. But there is in fact a process that we have to go through. Of course, there is in fact on your part the application process. Along with that application, there may in fact be an assessment that you are required to take. That assessment can take up to 3 hours to complete. So when I say that, what happens is these positions are offered at different grade levels, which means that with a internal revenue agent, these are announced at a 5 through grade 12, which means that when you are applying for jobs, you don't want to limit yourself in applying for every job that you, or every grade, that you meet the qualifications for. Because when it comes to the assessment, if you do not complete the assessment within that time frame, then you will be disqualified or found ineligible for that particular grade in which you applied for. That means that we will not go back and pull your application for other grades. If you only applied for one grade and did not complete the assessment, or even if you applied for 2 grades and you did not complete the assessment, then you will be ranked ineligible for those jobs that you applied for. So it is in fact that you take time, complete the assessment, and then what happens is it moves forward in the hiring process. What happens after the assessment, if everything is okay with that, then you move forward to an interview. Once you complete the interview, if that is successful, you are given a tentative job offer, which does not mean that you need to go and quit your job. That is, as it says, it's tentative. The next step in our process is our fingerprinting. Fingerprinting is done, then it moves forward to background check. Background check, we do understand that we are not all perfect. We have blemishes in our background that we are not always proud of, but what we suggest that you do in any and all instances, list any infractions that may come up or you think could possibly come up. Put them on your background or list them on your background information so that we will not have to come to you once something is discovered. So put it all out there in the open so it will in fact be available. So if fingerprinting is done and that's okay, if background is done and that's okay, then what you are given is a firm job offer. That in itself is your permission to provide your employer your notice and indicating that now I'm a person that is now having a career with the Internal Revenue Service. After which you will receive your new hire orientation. That new hire orientation packet will include the date that you report and to what location. So that's our hiring process. So again, pack your patience when applying. Just know that the job announcement has all the details necessary, and it will also include at the very bottom of it, it will probably have a contact person's name or a contact email address. You want to hold on to that so that you'll have some reference information when you want to contact our office or find out what's the status of your application. Now, with the status of your application, that actually can be found within your USA job account. Each step that your application takes, it does move forward on your USA job account. It'll have application received, referral made, or things of that nature. It'll also keep you up to date on whether or not the job has closed. It'll just keep you abreast of the status of your application. There was one other item or other items I wanted to make mention of when that application. If
There's Martha, there's another. Yes,
sorry.
this is Arnold. There's
Yes.
another question on the chat. It says, if you worked for the government in the past, you still have to go take a fingerprint again.
That I cannot answer. Usually that information is on file. Well, it is in fact on file. The thing that you'll need to upload to the system so that we will know that you were once employed with one form of government or not, there is a form SF50, that's standard form 50. Make sure that that is uploaded on your USA job account as a part of the documents. Was there another question?
No, ma'am.
I think I may have covered, like I said, there are virtual information sessions that I will provide the links to, and you can definitely join us. We're more than welcome to have you so that you can get a general, an overall idea of what the positions will entail.
Okay, thank you so much, Martha. And we'll definitely get those interested, or that we'll get the information posted up here again, because I see we've had a few people that have come in a little late, so we'll make sure to get all the links posted that we've talked about today from Leslie at Amazon, and Tandy at Always There, and Andrea over Andrea's from Amazon, Leslie's from Alcon. So we'll get those all posted here shortly. And since we brought it up and we didn't get that question asked earlier, Tandy, did you have any positions that would be remote?
Sorry, I had my mic turned off. No, we don't. At this time, we don't have any remote positions. I did post it on the feed, but perhaps that didn't go to everyone. We're always looking for remote positions, but we normally do not have that many.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and no problem. I was sending a lot of the messages that I thought were going to all the panelists just to Leslie, so she got a lot of information. uh I apologize,
Likewise,
Leslie,
I was
but
doing the same thing.
I don't know why it was defaulting. But Leslie, did you guys have any remote work that you wanted to talk about today?
No, not in manufacturing. We do have some FlexWorks arrangements that are available for like our professional associates in manufacturing. It's really kind of like on a case by case basis, and you know what the business can approve. But for the jobs that I'm recruiting for those packaging technicians and sterile fill technicians, they are solely on site working on our production floor. So there's nothing, no virtual options for those roles.
Yeah, it'd be a little tough to sterilize those eye drops from home.
Yes. Yeah, we wouldn't want that, no.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks. Andrea, did you have any remote positions outside? I know, again, like Leslie, it'd be tough to do some of those roles from home, but do you guys have any remote work that you'd like to talk about today that we didn't get a chance to bring up?
I'm currently not looking for any, but you would have to go to amazon.com/careers for remote work. So.
Okay, perfect. Well, we'll get all the links for all of our panelists here today reposted here in the chat. So for anybody who came in a little late or didn't get the information, we'll make sure to get that all here for you. And then we'll leave the panel open at least for another 10 or 15 minutes. So if you guys need to gather that information, write it down, copy paste it, we'll have that all there. So we'll have those links there, but you're always more than welcome to go to workintexas.com. If you go to our events page, you can actually, and we'll get that link up there, you can see all the employers there that we've talked about today that have joined us, and you can find them there. We've got links to all their positions through Work in Texas as well, so feel free to go either route. Let's see. Did anybody have any other questions that didn't get covered today? I'll leave the chat open for a minute before we start getting those links posted. Kenneth, yes, we excuse me, we do record all these sessions, so they're going to be posted to our YouTube channel. Let me see if I can get that for you. I don't have that right handy, but if Lacey's here, she might. So let me follow up here.
I'll post it.
Oh, thank you so much. So yeah, Kenneth, you can actually go back and look at other ones as well that we've done here in the past. So it may not be up to date with what the open positions are with those companies, but the information is still relevant. So by all means, take time and go rewatch some of those.
There's a question in chat about the IRF flyers. Do you have those, Jason or Martha?
I will send them. I'll send them to Mr. Scallon. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And it looks like Pamela is asking if is it possible to work for the IRS if you have personal tax issues or credit problems? Do you guys require a credit check?
That was one thing. That was one thing I wanted to definitely mention. That was my thought that just, I don't know how it escaped me. But yes, we can't emphasize it more. The fact that how can one go out and suggest that one pays and one files when we ourselves are not in compliance? That is one of the things that you, in fact, will have to be. There is an employee compliance check to ensure that you have filed and you have paid. If you have not filed and you have not paid, I suggest that you get, or I encourage that you get that done before applying. Make some kind of payment arrangements to pay, and of course, getting compliant in filing. That is a must.
Thank you so much. And it looks like Valerie's asking if all participants are going to be recorded for attendance. So yes, Valerie, everybody here that you see on the panel today that's had a chance to speak will definitely be recorded.
I think she might be talking about attendees. And so attendees are recorded and attendees are recorded, and we share that with the Texas Workforce Commission. So we are not the Texas Workforce Commission, but we are under their direction. And so we do share that through Work in Texas, so that if you are receiving unemployment or have to record job search activities, that is noted in your profile.
Well, perfect. Thanks for clarifying on that. It looks like Terrell's asking a question, and Martha, I'll lead with you and then let Tandy, Andrea, and Leslie follow. But do you guys have any protocols for COVID right now? Or are you required to wear masks?
That is, I cannot speak on that. Every office has their own protocol based on CDC, whether or not it is a grade level of low, moderate to high. But I cannot speak on the need or mandatory vaccine. No, I cannot.
Okay, thank you so much. Tandy, do you guys have any policies regarding COVID at the moment?
We comply with what our clients require. And currently, I have to say, most of our clients have moved away from masking and temperature controls. A lot of places, when you walk on site, you have to have your temperature read before you can enter. But most of them have moved away from that. They are releasing new things. I know we have a client outside of Tarrant County that has had an outbreak of COVID, and so they are going back to the strict policy. But other than them, they're the only ones I know of right now. Here in the office,
Thank you.
you're not required to wear a mask anymore to come in here.
Okay, good. So you can at least go talk to Tandy if you want to go and chat with her. You don't have to wear a mask, absolutely. Andrea, do you guys have a policy right now that requires the use of masks?
We don't have a mask policy right now. So
Okay,
are
great.
no masks.
Thank you so much. Leslie, what are your requirements for masks currently, or any other COVID restrictions?
Yeah, for our Fort Worth campus, we discontinued our COVID protocol. We had a very robust protocol during most of the pandemic. We were manufacturing the whole time, and we had to be very, very careful. But currently, we don't have any protocol. We highly encourage everyone to get vaccinated, but we don't have any vaccination requirements.
Okay, perfect. And for all of our participants, if you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. I'm gonna leave the chat open for another 9 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and close this out. Let's see. Arnold, would you mind getting all of our company's locations where we can apply posted there, please? And then we'll make sure that that's there for everybody to go ahead and copy and paste and get their applications in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and just a reminder for all the job seekers, we do these on the third Thursday of every month. So keep up with workforcesolutions.net. You can go to the events tab there. So we do these virtual events on the third Thursday of every month, and at each one of our 5 career centers, we do in-person hiring events where we'll have at least 1 or 2 employers, and then keep an eye out for our large scale events too that we put on. I think our next big one coming up is going to be the Red, White, and You. That's one of the largest job fairs in the state of Texas. So keep an eye out for that one as well. Thank you, David. Thanks for coming. Okay, thank you, Brandy. I hope you guys all find a good fit here today. Okay, thank you, Deborah.
I just posted something in chat that all the attendees will be receiving a survey. So we would appreciate you filling out the survey and giving us some feedback for future events.
Hey, Arnold, would you grab, or actually, let's see, I think I'll get it here. We've got, I think we forgot to put Amazon's on there. We don't want to forget them.
Yeah, I did miss Amazon, sorry. You got it?
No problem. I got it right there. Okay, and folks, I'll leave the chat open for another 6 minutes. So if you need to copy some information, go for it. If you've got any last minute questions, put them down there and we'll get that answer. But I hope you guys all have a great day.
Thank you, Jason. I really appreciated it.
Oh, thank you, Tandy. Yeah, absolutely. And Martha, Leslie, Andrea, we appreciate you guys joining us.
Arnold, it was
Great.
great to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. Likewise, likewise.
And Martha, you too. Thanks so much.
I know. But I was just a
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Tandy. Have a good afternoon. That's good advice, Sterile. Thank you, sir.
Sorry, my battery was dying.
Oh, no, not a problem.
And thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah,
hey, Martha,
yeah, we appreciate you coming.
I have a question for you. When you said they have to do the assessment when they apply for any position, do they have to complete the assessment? You mentioned the assessment was 3 hours long, possibly. Do they have to complete that assessment on one sitting?
That I'm not sure. I know it is definitely timed, so I don't think that will carry over to picking it up at a later date or later time. But I just know that it must be completed. And if it's not, then they will be found ineligible for the position in which they applied. So we suggest that you apply for multiple grades for that particular position. Like I said, the grade internal revenue agent is grades 5 through 12, if I'm not mistaken. And the internal revenue agent employment tax specialist, those are another grade level also. So the assessments will be given when you complete the application, you will be emailed an assessment. Another thing I just wanted to make them, those that are still on the call, aware of is that for some apparent reason, the emails from the Internal Revenue Service may go into your spam or junk mail. So make sure that you check those as well. Because if you miss something, everything has a time on it. So if you miss the assessment invite and you don't take it, then that's considered ineligible.
So is there different assessments for different positions, or is it one assessment for all positions listed?
There are different assessments for every position.
Okay, so when you say to multiply for or to apply for multiple positions, that means I would have to do several different assessments for each position, different position I applied for.
No, what happens is within the application, there would be questions of what position are you applying for or what grade are you applying for, and you can select, it will say what's the highest grade that you're applying for. If the highest grade that you're applying for is a grade 12, that basically means that you are also answering questions for 7, 9, 11, and 12. It will select those questions, but if you're only, the highest grade is 7, then you'll only be answering, of course, the questions as it relates to a grade 7. I'll also provide a link to our pay table, and that will give you a general idea of what the scale of the pay is for those grades of 5, 7, 9, 11, 12.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yes.
Very helpful. Thank you. And Don, I saw your request there. I went ahead and sent you links for today, so keep an eye on your email there.
Thanks, Jason.
I think Kenneth is asking, is there any examples? Kenneth, can you elaborate on what you're asking there? Oh, are there examples of assessments on the website?
We always get that question, and there are no examples of the assessments. The assessments are basically situations or scenarios or behavioral questions as it relates to the position, meaning if a taxpayer had this situation, or if you met this particular scenario, what would you do? Those type questions.
Okay. Yeah. So
are they multiple choice questions or are they essay questions? Sorry, Jason.
Multiple choice.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, folks, it is noon, so I will leave the chat open for another minute, just in case anybody needs to get that information. But I'm going to close it out in 1 minute. So, Martha, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for all of our job seekers who are joining us. Again, if you had any questions, feel free to reach out to us. All the information's there in chat, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.